Hi everyone. Thank you for choosing Pitch N Hire as an HR tech partner. So before we going forward, before we discuss how to set up your account and how to see how things works, let me give you a short intro about us and what we are offering in the market. So we specialize in advanced ATS and hiring automation solution. We build whole ecosystem for all of your hiring challenges, and we position ourselves as an one-stop solution to manage and scale hiring in your organization. It's like from a job requisition to sourcing a candidate to candidate application management and onboarding an offer letter. So it's an end-to-end management system. You can expect us. And by the way, we serve globally right now. Some of our enterprise level clients in India are PitchNHire, Magic Bricks, MediAssist, Varaha, and more. You can check on our website. Further, let's understand how the flowchart works. Basically, this is a flowchart that helps us to understand what an ideal hiring process we can achieve after implementing enterprise level ATS like Pitch and Hire. Okay, so basically, let's say for example, you receive 5,000 application within a certain period of time for a particular job posting you make. So let's say you receive 5,000 application. So now the first step, basically, what does an ATS do? It helps you to manage all the candidates, all the application coming from each and every sources, including your job portals, including your social media, including your career site, and further WhatsApp and Facebook community and all that social media. So let's say you receive 5,000 application combining all. Now it automatically go line up in your ATS. Now what ATS do? It helps you to shortlist all the relevant candidate based on the AI scoring. AI scoring is a matching score between candidate profile and the job description. Okay, so it helps you to shortlist only the relevant candidate so that you can create your own priority list. So you can shortlist top 10% candidate, top 20% candidate based on their hiring score. Okay, so the more AI score will be, the more candidate is relevant to your profile. That's simple. Now you can shortlist all the relevant candidate for the next round, which is going to be either an assessment round or a basic screening round with your interviewer or with your HR recruiter. So you can set up these further multiple interview round with the candidate using that same system. Okay, and it helps you to manage more efficiently all of your applications, all of your interviews, all of your candidate, their history, their feedback, their resume, everything in the same platform. Okay, so you'll consider this as a one-stop solution for all of your hiring process. I will show you around in when we will going to discuss over the panel how things work. I will show you around. So in short, we help you to shortlist a candidate coming from, we help you to come down to top 1% candidates. Okay, so you as your as a recruiter don't need to invest your whole bandwidth or your whole team bandwidth into the screening of a candidate into by interviewing the candidate, the basic interview round, or even reach out to the candidate. So that's a lot of that's a time taking part. So you can skip that part and automate with us, and you can invest your bandwidth to finalizing the candidate to do the further 3 to 4 round of interview and further evaluate. And so you can screen more and more candidate in order to get only relevant candidate for your position. Okay, in short, we help you to manage end-to-end hiring. Like, so for more detailed explanation, I suggest you visit our website, which is pitchnhire.com. Okay, now let's set up and let's sign up into our account for the initial setup and see how things work. Okay, so this is our UI and this is our new UI. Here you can find all the different functionalities, different sections over here. So this one is for recruiter. So this section is for job requisition. This section is for talent sourcing. This section is for communication. This for building. You can create your own assessment test and email templates and all that. This section is includes your career site integration. So before jumping into that, I think we should need to discuss how to set up your account initially. Okay, so for that you just need to go to the settings here. In order to do basic account setup and integration, you need to visit to the settings first after you log into your account. Now the first thing which you can see in the account is profile and signature. Here you can edit your name, signature, and password. So basically all the things you can change password as well here after you get receive the fresh password from the team. After that, in the notification tab, you can customize the notification for different activities and events, and particularly on email and directly on the portal. So you can set up your notification for each and every events and activities as per your requirement. Either do you want to get that notification on the directly on the desktop, or if you want, you can directly get all the notification directly to your mail. Okay. Now we'll go to the client companies. So basically, if you let's say if you are a staffing agency and a recruitment firm, here you can manage your client companies like number of jobs and application you're working on for them, and further reportings you can make here. After that, user roles. Now in the user roles, you can invite new users to the ATS and set their access according to their roles on the ATS. In order to do that, you just need to go to the roles here. Now here are different predefined roles as well. You can create your own. Let's say I want to let's say I'm going to create a role for executive. Okay. So for example, let's say if I want to give a certain permissions to this kind of role, I can just select the customs here, save. Now here you can find all the different access you can share to this particular role, either in the jobs, either in the job application, whether they can view, edit, delete, or request or change anything here. Okay. So here you can give different permissions to different roles. So let me show you an example here. So like that, see, here's a recruiter access here. So once I so he have 14 permissions. So an owner have all the permissions. Okay. And same as it is, let's say if a recruiter have only some few permissions, like as I show you. So while creating a user for yourself, let's say if you want to invite your fellow colleague to your ATS, you just need to click on invite user, input their email, select the predefined role here, and insert the validity of the login. So basically, if you select 12, it means within a 12 hour after the email to be sent to their email, within a 12 hour, they need to access to this ATS, and they need to get the invitation and receive the invitation. Otherwise, it will get expired. Okay. So once you send invite, they will receive the email notification, email invitation, and using that, they can sign in to the same panel. After that, in the integration tab, now here you need to integrate the following things. You are, let's say you're working on MS Teams or either Google Workspace. You can easily integrate by yourself. Just need to click on connect and it will pop up. Let me show you that how that works. Let me just connect it again. Let's connect this one. Okay, as you can see, you just need to click here. See, so it's integrated, right? The same way, you can also integrate your Google Workspace account as well as. Now, the next section would be job portals. Now we have LinkedIn, Founded, On Jobs, and Palify. So we have these 4 job portals integration with us. Now let's see how to integrate LinkedIn first. Okay. So basically, for LinkedIn, you just need to enter here the company ID. And once you enter that ID, you can just click on connect and it will get integrated. Let me show you where you can find this company ID. For that, you need to open your company email ID. For that, you need to open your company LinkedIn ID. Open your company email ID. Open your company LinkedIn ID. Go to the jobs. Click on show all jobs. Yeah. Now see here. In the URL, you will find the company ID just after this. You will find the company ID after this and F_C equals to this number before this and. So this is a 7-digit number. It's your company ID. You just need to copy this and paste it right here. And once you paste and click on connect, it will get integrated. The same way, you can integrate your founded as well. You just need to fill up all these details, username, password, basically your recruiter credential for the founded, and for the company name and company ID. The same way you will find in the recruiter login in the recruiter account of the founded. Okay. And OnJob is automatically integrated with us. You will find it here. So these both are our own solutions. OnJob is a smart sourcing platform, whereas Qualify is our work social media, slightly different from the LinkedIn. After that, email triggers. So what is an email trigger basically? Here you can configure the email at a particular event to be automatically sent to the candidates. Okay, so that applicants would be more engaged in your hiring process. Okay, let's say if the candidate is rejected due to any reasons, the system will automatically get them to know about their current status, so that they will get to know what is my current status. And let's say if the candidate is shortlisted for the next round, so these kind of events can be triggered and an automated mail will be sent to the candidate so that they will get to know and they will get more engaged into your hiring process. Now we'll go to the user availability. Now this is something new here. What you can set up here, let's say you have 5 recruiters and 3 interviewers in your company. So what you can do, you can add slots here, basically the whole working hour of all the recruiter, so that if you have 3 to 4 interviewers, and if 3 interviewers is occupied at a particular time, so that you will get to know about their slots availability as well before you. So using that user availability function, you can, let's say you have 3 recruiters and 2 interviewers in your company, for example. So what you can do, you can create a available slot of each and every recruiter and interviewer, so that let's say if your two recruiter are already scheduled for an interview with different candidates, then if you want to set up a new interview with them, so you can check their available time slot in order to do that. Okay, so it's very useful for them. You can set up right here. Okay, so now the basic account setup is done. Now we'll see how to post a job and how to create a requisition. The first step is to create a requisition. We'll click on that job requisition tab here. Okay, so let me create a requisition. For example, let's say you have in your marketing department, you have a vacancy for that. So let's say your marketing head wants to create a requisition. They will click on that requisition here. So there are three different ways. Either you can create a requisition on your own, or you can create your own requisition, or you can link with your existing job opening, so that if it's related to that position. Otherwise, you can share directly to the department head or the hiring manager to their email ID, so that they can give you the basic information in order to upload your job or create a job posting. Now we'll go to the open new position, click on continue, and let's create a requisition first. Now let's create a requisition first. So I'm going to create a requisition for a JavaScript developer. So this is from Department of Marketing, employment type full time. I can add a role summary. So should have work experience. So here you can expect from the hiring manager or the department head to give all the basic information, all the basic information you can use to find relevant candidate like KPIs and KRS. So they will add all these details right here. After that, they will give you the location detail as well. Further, they will need to add the location detail here. After that, we will click on continue. So in the hiring detail, you need to mention the number of opening required for that position, the target hire date, basically the deadline of that, the TAT. You can also assign to the particular hiring manager. They can your department head directly can assign to the particular hiring manager over there, and also you can assign the particular recruiter who are working on that profile, and you can select the priority of that as well. If it's high priority, you can select this. Further, you can also add business justification, so that your when you send to the that requisition for the approval to your seniors, to the hiring manager or HR head or the department head, so that they will get to know why you want to hire this profile. After that, you will need to continue. Here you need to give all the compensation details. For example, further you will add compensation details here. Minimum experience required, maximum experience required. Notes for the approval you can add up here. It's optional. After that, you will review all the details and all the requisition you make, and you can create. Click on save. So you will find your requisition right here in the job requisition tab as mark at in progress. So in order to approve this requisition, you first need to create a workflow here. Workflow as if in all the approvers, all the HODs or department head, which you want to get the approval first before you post a job, you will create here. This is how you will create. I can also give the permission to them. Do they able to read or write, or they can make any edits or not. After that, I can add another approval here. Let's say I want to add my finance head as an approver also. I can add their email here. Okay. And once I click on create workflow, you will find the workflow is updated right here. And let's see what is the current status of that workflow. Okay. When you create your requisition and you create all the workflow, and when you open that requisition, you will find this kind of interface here, and the approval workflow here. You can find all the updating action for from the approvers and hiring team which will going to be working on that position, and also all the detail of that. So once so it's so basically the system will automatically send the details and the requisition details to the first HR head in order to approve that. And let me show you how that notification looks like on their email. Let me open my email first. Here you can find I receive an action required, job requisition awaiting for your approval. When I click on that, review and respond, see, here I can find all the detail which I need to review and approve for that position, the hiring detail, compensation, review everything. So once I had review all the things and I find everything is right, I can submit my decision here. I can approve or I can reject. I can assign the reason for that rejection. Okay. So let's say I approve this requisition, click on submit discussion. Okay. Once I click on submit, let's see how in the requisition. Okay. As you can see here in the requisition, this HR head, this the first step is cleared and he's approved that position. Now the second step would be the finance head need to get the approval done. So if this HR head approved this requisition, then only that requisition will move forward to the finance head. If that HR has not approved that requisition, if you reject or on put on hold, then the finance head will not get the approval or not get the requisition request. It will only get if the step one is cleared. Okay. Now, once the step one is cleared, the same way it will receive the requisition immediately on the finance side email ID. They will get the notification and they will uh, respond to that and they will approve that. And once that approval is done, when you go to the requisition here, you will also receive all the notification as well as okay. So once it will get approved. So after the first approval is done, the second approval would be to give by the finance head, and let's see how. Okay, as you can see, they also receive the review request here. They will click on that link the same way. They also need to review all the things. They can make an edit as well as now they can add submission here. Click on approve. Once they click on approve, we'll see the updated requisition in the ATS. Okay. And now you will go to the requisition here. It shows the status approved. Okay. Now, after the approval is done, the first step of a recruiter is to post a job. And for that, they will need to go to the job posting here, the next part. We'll go to the next section here in the job posting. Now they click on new job. So there are two ways. Either they want to create a job posting without any requisition. If you don't follow those hierarchical rules or hierarchy, you can skip that part. Otherwise, you will click on create job requisition, select the approved requisition, create. Now let me show you how you can post a job. Okay. So yeah, just need to fill up all the basic details like job title, number of position required for that requisition here, and work experience required for that position, relevant skills required for that. So I can select all the relevant skills. I can also add a minimum qualification required for that. And I can add tags. So basically tags is used for to identify those kind of position while you performing any reports or you want to analyze over there. So basically you can add tags relevant to that position. So you're hiring for JavaScript, you can add the tag JavaScript. You're hiring for a executive level. So let's say you are hiring for the dev department or the marketing department. So you can add the tag here. Help you while analyzing in the reports. So you can generate reports according to the tags. So I'm hiring for the marketing. So I'm hiring for the marketing here. I can also add, let's say, what type of position I'm hiring for. So I'm hiring for a senior executive, senior developer, or you can say an executive. Okay. So I can add that thing. After that, I can add job description. So before, you can see there is a detail here, and there's the same detail which I received as a requisition. So what I can do, I can just insert all other KPIs and KRS detail and click on generate job description. So basically, the system will automatically analyze all the requisition here and all the further details you mentioned here, and it will create a job description for you. Okay, so as you can see, it's automatically created a job description for you. Now, after that, you just need to give all the further details for the location. If you're hiring for remote work, you can select that. Otherwise, toggle this off. Select the country, city you're hiring for example, pin code. Okay. Further, you can add employment type, marketing department, further details. Okay. Save and continue. After that, so basically here you can add screening question as if in all the question you want your candidate to answer before they apply to the position. Okay. So here you can just add the screening question by yourself, like, are you comfortable working in 6 days working or not? Select the yes and type, select the type of answer you will get, yes and no, text space or multiple choice. Then you can just save here, add another question here. How many years of professional experience you have, for example. So you will get the marks here. Okay. And you can save this template as well as for further use. Okay. And you can access that template right here. We have predefined templates as well. So once you add screening question further, then you can click on save and continue. We'll go forward here. And now you just need to pull up the status to published. Then you will go to the job posting. Here you will find in the published tab, your job posting will be go live. And let's see how you can check your job posting. You just need to copy this here, copy job URL, copy this, and open in any incognito mode or directly here. Okay, so your job is automatically get live on the internet. Okay, so now the first step is done, how to post a job. Now we'll go to the second step would be how to get application and how to manage all the application. So as I show you initially in the integration part, how you can integrate LinkedIn and found it and on job. So basically once you integrate all those things and when you post a job like that, so it will automatically get posted on LinkedIn and found it and other portals. So we have direct integration with them. Okay, so after the integration is done, it will get live on those platforms. You so for that you need to have your own credentials and you have your own recruiter credential for that. Okay, required subscription, you need to have your own required subscription, and for that to post a job on LinkedIn and found it and other on jobs. So after I post a job, my second step would be to check all the application which I'm receiving. So for example, let's say I receive 5 application from LinkedIn, 5 application from Monster, and further application from on job. So what I can do, I can check all the application I receive from multiple sources right here in the application tab, as you can see. So these are the numberings which denotes how many application I receive. So I can just click on here. It will move to my job pipeline section here. So all the application which you can see on my list here for this particular job, you can just change a view as well. Okay, so see, this is where you will need to manage all of your job pipeline, all of your applicants. Okay, here you can see there are different sections here: applied, shortlisted, scheduled, rejected, and further you can add as well as you can add custom stages as well as according to the hiring needs of you. But all the application which you receive from all the sources as if in sources includes job portals, your database, your talent pool, your career site, your social media, everything you can integrate. You can manage all the application from each of them sources. Now, before we see how to manage and how to post a job through these multiple portals, and before we see how to get all the application and how to manage all those applications from different sources, let's see how to check how many application you receive. Yeah. Okay. So the first step is done to get to know how to post a job through Pitch and Hire. Now we'll see how to manage all the application through our job pipeline. Okay. So let's say you post a job and you had also integrated your LinkedIn and found it in other job portals. So let's say you receive some application after a certain period of time through different portals, and you can check all the application count here. Not only you can check, you can just click on here. It will automatically move to the pipeline section here, and this is where you will manage all of your job pipeline and all of your application coming from all the sources. Now you can see here in this particular job opening, I have four candidates and their stages and their sources. Let's say if this candidate comes from the Naukri, or if this candidate comes from the LinkedIn, you will get to know the source of your LinkedIn as, and with the AI scoring and the number of experience they have, and if there are any particular recruiter assigned for this position or not, application date, and further details. Now you can just also change the view here in the pipeline view, and this is something unique. So this is a Kanban style drag and drop job pipeline management system here. So you can see there are different application sections here. So first of all, in applied section, shortlisted, scheduled, qualified, rejected, and you can also add a custom stage as per your hiring needs. Okay. So, but all the application which you receive will automatically go line up here in the applied tab, and you can view here. I have four application, and let's say I want to view this application. I can just click on here. So in this application view, what I can see, candidate details, their about me, their skills, their particular work experience, qualification, and all these detail which you can see, it's not something we manually entered. It's a resume parsing. So all the detail which you can see, it's automatically parsed from the candidate resume. So you can also view the candidate resume right here. Okay. So the same way, you will find all the detail of this candidate, and after that you will get to know that their timeline as well. Let's say what is the timeline is. So basically it's a log created at each and every step. Let's say if the candidate applied, a log is being created with a timestamp, and it shows basically how many rounds he cleared, what stage is in right now, and further things. Okay. After that, you can also send the assessment to the candidate. So basically I will need to discuss this. So basically you can also set up the assessment with the candidates right here. I will show you around how to set up that one. After that, you can also manage all the email conversation right here with the candidates. So you can directly use the pre-existing templates as well, add attachment and send to the email. Okay. You can also add notes. So basically notes as if in, let's say you have a conversation with this candidate and you want something, let's say you have a conversation with this candidate and you want to add notes. So you can add here all the detail, all the notes, so that your other fellow colleague, team members can get to know about this, the last conversation which you have with the candidate, so that after when they will gonna contact this candidate, they will get to know about the previous communication you have with them. Now in the previous application detail, now see, here you need to see something, because in the previous application, it shows the history of a candidate in your organization, in your hiring process. Okay. So let's say a candidate XYZ, let's take this one. If the candidate Tanmay Singh had ever applied to, let's say he applied to your opening few months back, and he got, he's not shortlisted and he get rejected due to certain reasons. Okay. So that thing is stored in the system. Okay. After that, let's say you, after 3 to 4 months, you post a job and the same application Tanmay Singh applied for that position. Now you can also check the previous application detail, like how many positions did he apply to my company previously, and what's the current stage of that position or the last stage of that position, so that it helps to make decision whether to go ahead with this candidate or not. Okay, based on certain reasons. So this is the candidate application view here. Now, so the first step of a recruiter is to be, I believe, to shortlist a candidate based on the candidate resume and relevancy, right? So as I told you, we have an AI scoring functionality that basically helps you to shortlist all the relevant candidate. And you can see here, let's say this candidate is score 80% in an AI scoring. This candidate scores 60%. This one scored 20%, because there are several reasons. Basically, AI score basically match the candidate resume with the job description. So as you can see, we are hiring for sales executive here. And if the candidate is scoring 80%, that means, let's see, he has more relevant work experience, more relevant qualification, more relevant skills according to the sales profile. Now let's see, for sales executive, so this candidate had relevant skills, relevant work experience, and qualification. And now let's see low scorer candidate here. Let's see this one, Karan. Okay, so you can see here he's a tech guy. His skills is not very relevant for the sales profile. His qualification is not very relevant. That is why he only scored 20%. Okay. So it's make very easy for a recruiter to do the basic shortlisting, like to shortlist top 1% candidate, top 10% candidate. So you can easily shortlist, let's say, all the top candidate who scored above 90%. Okay. So you can just easily drag and drop. So you can create your own priority list to work upon only first all the candidate who scored above 90%. After that, you will go to down to top 20%, like who scored above 80%. So this is how you can create your own priority list. So let's say, you receive many application and you can't spend all of your bandwidth to check if this candidate is relevant to you or not. You can easily use AI scoring, and it will help you to shortlist top 20% candidate easily. Okay. Now let's say I had shortlisted these candidates, and once I shortlisted, and I can just drag and drop. So once I drop it, as I automatically set the alert system here. So once they are shortlisted, the system will automatically share the update to their once I shortlist these candidates, the system I automatically enable those functions so that each and every candidate will receive the notification about their current stage. Okay, so they will get to know about their current stage. So it will help you to get more. It help the candidate to get more engaged in your process. So let's say these candidate had shortlisted. Now what I can do, my second round of assessment would be is I can send an assessment to them. Now let's talk about how to send an assessment. Okay, so you'll click on the new assessment here. You can select all the assessments. So basically, we have some assessment as well as. But before, if you want to create a particular assessment for your JD, you need to go to the assessment here. You can click on create. Let's create a test assessment for you. Time limit for that and the passing score. Let's set up for above 60%. Okay. Okay. Now I created this one. I'll click on that. Here I can add either questions manually or I can use the generate AI for that. Let's generate AI for that. Click on generate. I can add skills. So basically, we are hiring for, let's say, sales profile. So I can add sales. So basically, let's say I'm hiring for sales profile. So I can add particular topics and sales, and I can select the sections. I can either select the MCQ type question or a Q&A type question. Let's generate MCQ types question. I can also select the difficulty level as well and number of questions. Okay, and I can just click on create. So it will generate all the templates and all the questions relevant to my JD automatically. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, it's automatically created an MCQ questions as a template. Okay, now I can use the same template while sending an assessment here. So let's see. So I want to send an assessment to this candidate. I'll select that assessment here. Okay, after selecting, I can also set the expiry date, like within 3 days, the candidate must join that session and complete. Otherwise, it will expire. Now I can add. Now I can add enable the proctoring here. So basically, what proctoring means. So there is our solution, our own proctoring system. So basically, what proctoring means, our own proctoring system will monitor everything from the candidate head movement, their entire screen access, their microphone, and their webcam. Okay, so through that, so that you don't need to join any of the session. Okay, all the proctoring, all the monitoring can be handled with the AI agent of Pitch and Hire. So I can select all and I can click on assign. Once I click on assign, the candidate will receive the notification on their mail, and after that they will click on that link and they join that session. After they join that session, the same way they need to give all the permissions and all the further microphone and camera access, and they will need to after that they perform the test and they will submit the test. After that the test would be submitted. You can check the scorecard of that. Let me show you that. In order to access the scorecard, you will need to go to the assessment here. Now here, in the assessment tab here, you can see different assessment and their proctoring reports. So proctoring reports, basically all their timestamp of the system detected their faces in the particular interval and their screen access and their audio. Okay, so these are the proctoring summary you will get. After that, in the view submission, you can check the answer of those and in the view submission, you can check and evaluate all the answers given by the candidate of each and every questions. Okay, and you will get the summary here. Out of 6 questions, he only answered 4. Okay, so in the result, he failed. So these type of assessment you can perform here. So we'll go back to the assessment tab here. We'll go back to the job pipeline. Now, for example, out of 3 candidates, my 2 candidates were only shortlisted for the next round would be. So after the automated assessment is done, what I need to do, I can set up a physical round of interview or a virtual round of interview with my interviewer for this candidate. So for that, I just need to select the Teams option here. Either if I'm using Google Workspace or Google Meet, I can use this. Currently, I'm using this one. Now here I need to give the basic details like location, select date and time of that interview session. Okay. For example, 5 p.m. Duration of that interview would be 45, for example. Attendee. So this email is this is a candidate email ID. Now I can add all the attendees, all the interviewers. I can also insert directly from here. After that, I can toggle this create meeting link and I can add further descriptions here. Once I click on create, let me show you that. Okay. So once I click on create, the candidate will be notified about their next interview round and as well as the panelist. So, and how you can track all those applications and how you can track all those job interviews, you will go to the calendar here. Okay. So once you integrate your mailbox in the settings here, so you can manage all of your mailbox right here in the Pitch and Hire tab. The same way which you are doing on your email, Gmail or Outlook, you can manage all your mails here and also you can manage all your calendar here. Okay. So let me show you. So here you can see I had just set up a call with this candidate on Saturday and it's shown here. Okay. So it basically means it automatically align with my calendar as well as the panelists and the candidates. Okay. And the system will automatically share all those detail of the candidate, including their application detail, including their resume directly to the panelist email ID. Okay. So that they can they can review all the detail and their resume before they join to the session. Okay. Okay. So this is basically, this is how you can manage all of your job pipeline and all of your application. Okay. Now I think we need to discuss how you can import all of your database. Okay. So for that, we'll go to the import here. So let's say you have your own database, you are maintaining your own database on Excel file or a CSV file or Google Sheet, or you have bulk of resume in a form of PDFs. Okay. So what you can do, you can just go to the add candidates. So there are three different ways. Either you can use CSV or spreadsheet. Either you can add manually, like it's a one by one. So it's time consuming. If you have a bulk database or a PDF, you can use either these. Let's say for the PDFs, I click on continue. Now there are three ways. So let's say I have thousands of database I need to import in this ATS. So for that, I need to select whether in which section I want to include in that. So there are three ways. The first one is to be directly sent to the talent pool. So talent pool is my own repository containing all the database. Okay. So it's my database management system in an ATS. Now, let's say if I have a list of candidate relevant for that particular opening which I'm working on, so I can also import all the relevant candidate resume directly to my, let's say I have a specific database for a specific position I'm hiring for. So I can also import all that resume directly to the application so that it will go land up in my job pipeline. The same way, let's say if I want to create a separate list for that, let's say I have a data classified as a graphic designer or as an HR candidate. So I can just import all the database. It's in short, basically it helped me to segregate my data. Okay. So I can upload here all the PDF format resume in bulk, docs format resume in bulk, and it will process. And once I click on import, it takes time. So let's say you can also upload one by one. Otherwise, if you want to upload in bulk, let's say 500 resume in once, 1,000 resume in once. So you after you upload, you need to wait for some time, let's say 5 to 10 minutes, even 15 minutes for bulk resume passing. And after that, you will see the status here. If the status shows processing, it means the resume passing is still working. So you don't cancel anything. If it shows pending, it's queued. Okay. If it showed failed, so you need to try again. If it show skipped, it means that particular database is already in your areas on your database. So once it completed, you will find all those candidates right here in the talent pool. Okay, so see, this is where you will find all of your database, all of your application which you receive, which you import, or from any other sources. There, here you need to manage all your database. So let's see, I want to hire somebody. Let's say I want to hire a sales representative for my company, and I have huge database, and I think I can find a relevant application for my database. So what I can do, if I had already created a list for that, I can directly view that list. Otherwise, I will go to the filter here, select the experience required for that position, which I want to require, select the experience which I want, select the city which I'm hiring for, relevant skills required for that position, and further. And you will see out of thousands of database, I can shortlist only the relevant candidate with the relevant experience, skills, and further things which I filter out. So now I have only the relevant candidate out of my database. What I can do, I can select all and I can send the invitation to them. So basically, it's a bulk invitation functionality where, let's say you have thousands of database and you want to send an invitation for that for your current job opening to all of their mails. So you can just click on create invite and select the opening you have and click on invite. So for that, once you do that, every candidate will receive a invitation on their mail as well as, so that they will use that same link and they can apply for that position. Let's say if we take 10 to 20% ratio out of 1,000 candidate, you share the invitation. If 100 candidate apply back, so their application would automatically get updated. Let's say you have a database and it's an old database, and if this candidate Manish Chaudhary is, he is interested for that position and he click on apply, obviously he will use his updated resume. So that updated resume will automatically will update in your own database as well. So it means your database would keep updating, keep evolving whenever you use that to outbound to the candidates. So for example, 100 candidate apply for that position, so that all those 100 candidate will automatically go lined up in your own job pipeline for that position. Okay, you will find all those 100 application in that apply tab. And the second way is to, let's say you had shortlisted, you can also manually assign to their job to your job pipeline. Okay, to evaluate before sending to, you can evaluate whether this candidate had enough AI score to invite or not. Okay, so you can assign to a particular job opening. Okay, the same way you can also export all the database from your ATS, and you can add directly to the list here. Okay, so this all we discuss here is to do outbound. Basically, there are two ways. One is inbound, where we post a job and we wait for the application to come. And the second would be outbound, where we reach out to the relevant candidate. And this is how you will reach out to the relevant candidate. Okay, so let's say you, let's suppose you don't have any database or you have very few database. So what you can do, you can also use Pitch N Hire own database called on job. You will, for that you will go to the sourcing here. Here you need to fill. Here you need to enter any prompt. Like if let's say you want a JavaScript developer based in Delhi with an experience of 2.5 years, then you can write all these things and search, and it will give you the relevant candidate list containing their resume, and you can unlock them. Okay, so you can also use on job to source a candidate relevant to your JD. Okay, and after that, as I show you in import and export, you can add candidate from multiple sources in the ATS and export as well as. Okay, and in the mailbox, you can, after integration, you can manage all of your mails here. In the calendar, you can track your ongoing calendar. In the assessment here, you can create your own assessment. You can add manually all the questions as well as. In the email templates, same as it is, you will find a pre-existing templates as well, and you can create your own as well. And last but not the least, career site. So we also offer the career site builder. Basically, that you can use this career page site builder to create your own, to design your own custom career page for your website, and you can input all the graphics and all the further themes according to the brands. You can also add the multiple users, and you can also integrate after you build your own website, after you design your own page with us using these API keys or iframe code. You can just ask your developer to paste these codes to the career page site of yours, and it will get integrated. And once it integrated, you can just view it. You can also view this website here. So it will look like this. Okay, once you integrate, it will look like this after you add all the details. So basically, the point is, it's all integrated. So let's say once you have post a job, let's say you have working on 10 different openings and you post a job, then it will automatically go live on those job portals, as well as it will go live on your career site as well. Okay, so the application coming from your career site, application coming from directly sourcing a candidate, like from the talent pool when you invite to the candidate, and application coming from the job portals will automatically go lined up in the pipeline here. And further, you can manage all the pipelines, all the application based on their AI scoring and their performances. So this is the basic overview of the Pitch and Hire. So let me discuss about the dashboard here after we discuss all the things. So in the dashboard, you can find all the glances here, like how many candidates you have in your ATS, how many application you have, how many requisition you created, okay, and overall hiring outcome within 30 days. So you can analyze that as well as how many close, how many open, okay. So you can also check job-wise reports as well, like for a particular job, what's the current status of this, what is the timeline, how many days, and how many hired. Okay, so we'll get all the summary right here in the reports. Now here something is different. So see, basically, let's say I want the reports from a certain timeline to a certain timeline. So here I can find all the basic metrics, like how many open roles within a certain period of time, how many active candidates, how many candidates had rejected, selected, all the detail would be there. Job-wise, okay, you will find all the metrics here. and particular job by departments, job by status, job by type. So you will get the deep analysis of all of your hiring analytics, and so that using that thing, you can even forecast your hiring needs. Okay, that's you can also use these metrics for the passive hiring. You can also track how many candidate you have in your own database, which type of candidate, okay, based on their location, based on their sources, okay, candidate growth trend. You can also track performances of your team. Let's say you have 5 to 10 recruiters in your team. You can also track their performances within a certain period of time. Requisition. Okay, so this is a basic overview of Pitch N Hire 2.0, Pitch N Hire latest update. And after that, if you want more detailed explanation of that, you can just click on here, settings, product tool. You will find all the details here. Thank you so much for your time, and have a good day.